welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. I'm a wife and mom of four, navigating family life while trying to remember who I am. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be talking to you about how I dress for joy, if that makes sense. So over the last couple years, I have really come into my own personal style. Yes, it's taken me 40 years to do, but here I am. And I thought that I would share with you guys how I take my personal style into different areas of my life, because I live by the motto, when you look good, you feel good, and it doesn't matter where you are. So there are about 5 or 6 areas that I dress or put things on with intention. I am very intentional about the things that I wear, even if it's at home. So let's get into these 5 things. Before I get into my 5 areas that I dress with intention, I want to say that across all of these areas, I do about 3 or 4 of the same things. The first one is I always look for monochrome. I don't always dress in monochrome, but I do a lot. So I feel like when you wear monochrome and a monochrome outfit, it makes you automatically look more put together. The second thing is I always keep basics. Now I'm working on where I get my basics from, because sometimes you can get cheap tank tops or t-shirts and they don't really stand the test of time. But for those of us on a budget, I found good basics at Walmart, Target, Ross, TJ Maxx, places like that. So along with the monochrome, I definitely look for some good basics. The third thing that I would say I do across all categories is wear some type of jewelry. I have a short haircut, so I need some earrings on at the least. I try to keep a necklace on and maybe, my wedding band, depending on where I am. And the last thing is a fragrance. Even when I'm around the house, I'm spraying something on, whether it's a body mist or a perfume or even some good smelling lotion. I try to always smell good. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead into my categories. Now, the first 2 are just me being around the house. And I know as moms and wives or women in general, we don't always feel like dressing with intention. Me included. So some days I do have on a moo-moo, not gonna lie. Some days I just am not feeling it. But more days than not, I am dressing with intention. So the first area is when I'm cooking and cleaning. The first area is when I'm cooking and cleaning. I know I'm gonna get something on me, might get a bleach spot, might get some grease popped on me while I'm cooking. But this is where the monochrome really, really gets me through. I look for tank tops or biker shorts or even like inexpensive matching sets. I found some pretty inexpensive ones from Walmart that I cook and clean in. And yeah, really during cooking and cleaning, I tend to do a lot of monochrome. Even if I'm in a big t-shirt, my t-shirt and my tights are gonna match. It might not be a matching set, but it'll look like it. So yeah, if you want to look more put together while you're just around the house cooking and cleaning, I would say go monochrome. Now, if I know I'm not having to do a deep clean, or if it's just, washing dishes or just I'm having to cook, I do have a lot of cute house dresses. I found some of them thrifting. I get a lot of them from just Walmart, honestly. And then sometimes I will wear an apron if, I have on something cuter and I don't want to get anything on it. I do utilize aprons as well. Now, when it comes to the accessories, I'm probably just gonna have on a pair of studs, and that's it. I'm just at home, so I don't need anything major as far as accessories go. But sometimes when I do have my hair tied up, I will make sure that whatever I have on my head coordinates with what I have on. So yeah, again, that's where that monochrome is really going to help you, because You can have on, let's say, all gray or all black or all blue, and your scarf can have different colors in it that will go with what you have on. So those are just a few things that I do to make me feel a little bit more happy while I'm doing my household duties. The second area that I try to dress with intention is even when I'm relaxing, which doesn't happen very often, being honest. But if I do so happen to have a chance to just, chill on the couch, or most times I'm in my room watching TV, I'm gonna put on a cute matching pajama set or a cute little nightie if I want to feel a little frisky, or a nice robe. But everything that I'm wearing is, number one, comfortable, but number two, it's coordinating. I really don't lay around in just anything. You'll be surprised how this really helps you. It boosts your mood. Sometimes I do get in my funks where I don't want to do anything. That includes taking a shower. However, I do get up and take a shower, and if I find something that makes me feel a little bit more put together, even though I'm just chilling. It lifts my mood. So relaxing is also important. Again, with the accessories, I may have on some stud earrings. Sometimes I don't wear any jewelry when I'm relaxing, just because if I lay down or whatever, sometimes the earrings can like poke you or that kind of thing. So I'm really in this area focused on the matching sets. I forgot to mention the fragrance when I'm relaxing. It goes hand in hand with when I'm cooking and cleaning. It'll be a scent or a fragrance that I have that I really, I won't say don't care about, but more of like the body sprays is what I'll do when I'm around the house, just because I ain't trying to really waste my perfume. But sometimes I do. It just depends on how I feel. However, when I'm relaxing, candles. I have a diffuser that I got some oil that I put in it, and I have one going right now. And so even though I may not smell, my body spray or whatever, the room helps me relax and feel good. Now that we're out of my home, we're about to enter into the world. And in these next three categories, I will always have, again, those basics and the things that I talked about before, but I'll also try to make sure that I have accessories, fragrance, and makeup. Now, let's get into it. So, the third category is work or church. I tend to dress about the same for work as I do for church. And in this area, I do wear more structured things like blazers or button downs. However, I still keep my basics. I love a good bodysuit, okay? So a bodysuit and a pair of trousers. Um, it's pretty much was it my uniform for work, but I can also translate that into church. A bodysuit with a skirt and some boots for now, since it's winter. In the summer, a bodysuit and a skirt and some heels. Keep it simple. But I do wear more structured things, of course, out in the world, uh, as opposed to being at home. Monochrome again carries me through this category. It really, really elevates your outfit. So if I'm wearing a basic black bodysuit, I may have on some black trousers, or some pants with a print, or a skirt with a print. But it's all in the same color. I love a good chocolate on chocolate. That is my thing right now. So yeah, and of course to church I will wear dresses and that kind of thing, but the basics is what really carries me over. As far as makeup, now for work, I typically don't wear makeup to work, but sometimes I do, but I will keep it very, very simple, maybe some concealer and, do something with my eyebrows. Nothing too much, because I work at a school and I'm not really pressed. I'm not a person that wears makeup a lot anyway. So, in the way my mornings go, sometimes makeup is not is not in the bingo cards. Now for church, I 9 times out of 10 will have on a full face of makeup. Just because growing up, church is where you went, And I know for me and my family, we stepped out when we went to church. You want to look your best going to church. So I will put on a full face of makeup and again a fragrance. Now, when I'm stepping outside, I like to layer my fragrances. So those same body mists or sprays that I use at home, I will layer with a perfume that has complementing scents to it, just so you got that good walk by air. For category 4 are games. All 4 of my children are involved in some kind of sports. So we spend a lot of time in gyms. And in an effort to not look like a cliche sports mom, which is nothing wrong with that, it's just not my personal style. I tend to mix athleisure with more structure. So, for instance, in the summertime, I might pair a tennis dress with a button up over top, or in the fall and winter, I might pair um, like a matching athletic set with a blazer just to level up what I'm wearing. But, again, it's about how I feel. And I'm not giving these tips to tell you how to dress. All of these match my personal style. And I always want to look put together and elevated. I want people to know that I have dressed with intention. So again, I'm wearing more structured things to the games. Maybe some jeans and a bodysuit, though, if I don't want to do too much, so to speak. Again, if I wear makeup, I will do a light, again, concealer, eyebrows, something on my lips, something nice and simple. Um, and fragrance, same thing as church. I will layer it. And it just depends on my mood of which fragrance that I wear. I'm going all out with my accessories though, the earrings, the necklaces, the rings. I just love it. I'm in my stage of my life where I want all the rings. I love to layer my necklaces and I like big earrings. So I definitely put those on when I am going to my kids' games. Now we're on to category 5, the last one. And this is my outside category, okay? This is when I'm going to brunch with the girls, if I'm going on date night, if, maybe pop out to a lounge or a bar. These are my outside things that I do. Again, we're going to go with that basics. You cannot go wrong with, less is more. It really is. So in this area, depending on where I go, I may do, of course, a bodysuit and some jeans is probably my everyday, like my go-to. Okay, you can't go wrong with that. You can dress it up or down. However, I love a good dress. I love dresses. So I probably in this area would wear more dresses again in the wintertime with a boot, in the summer with a heel or a flat sandal. Um, I also like to add structure now. I have this particular blazer that I am in love with that I thrifted, and I cannot wait to wear it. But with my blazers or even oversized sweaters, I try to like sexy them up some. So that's where the cleavage will come into play. And maybe a little thigh, showing off the goods, so to speak. I like to really step out and look good. And again, I'm going to wear a full face of makeup. I'm not stepping out to look good in some clothes and not a full face of makeup. Not saying that I need it, but it just elevates how I'm already feeling with the cute outfit. Okay. Again, in this area, well, depending on what I'm wearing, sometimes I do go all out with my accessories with the stacked necklaces, the rings, the bracelets, the big earrings. But sometimes I want to play it, a little bit more demure. And so I will put on something simple, like I love my cross necklace, a pair of cute stud earrings, to kind of not take too much attention off of what I'm wearing. But anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you get some inspiration for dressing for your life of joy, including in your home. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.